For the Beaver Radio Network, I'm Brian Schultz, BSU baseball team, fresh off of a trip to Tucson, Arizona, joined by sophomore infielder and outfielder Joey Hanowski. Joey's a freshman last year. The team went all the way to the conference title game. Could you ever imagine a better way to start your collegiate career?
Oh, obviously not. Especially with the guys we had last year. We were such a senior-dominated team. It was just kind of, I was along for the ride and contributed the best way I could. But, yeah, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better feeling, even though at the end you kind of had a bad taste in your mouth because I thought we could have maybe, beat them the first game and the second game, who knows. But it was definitely the best way to start off your freshman year.
You say you were along for the ride. I'm saying, you played a lot last year. 20 games in left, 9 games at second, 2 games at first, 2 games in right field. How do you pull that off as a freshman, playing all those different positions and still trying to adjust to speed of a fastball and a break of a curveball up at the plate too?
It's just, I don't know. I mean, my dad told me, I remember coming in, he goes, every position they ask you to play, say yes. I mean, I caught in high school, my whole career in high school, and all of a sudden I got out here and they kind of said, what about outfield? And I said yes. And then we had a couple guys go down with injuries and academics, and they asked if I could play second, and I said yes. And it was kind of funny. I remember first game of the Metrodome, I started second, and then I rotated with Cody Jenkins, and then the next game against Sioux Falls, I played left and played like outfield the rest of the trip until about halfway through conference, and then all of a sudden I was back at second, played a little first, right. I mean, I was just trying to make the lineup, so anywhere I could get to was it was a plus for me.
Off the field this year, what was that trip like to Tucson?
It was nice. I mean, obviously the winter this year was not as snow oriented, but the cold was just, it gets to anyone up here obviously, but just to play in 75 degrees, 80 degrees down there and breezy, and it was just, you couldn't ask for a better setup to your season.
Now I'm jealous, because I'm sick of all the snow, and I haven't been able to see 75 yet, Joey. But on the field, you guys started the trip great, won 3 out of your first 4. What happened after that?
Our youth showed, I think. Obviously Skip doesn't want us to blame it on that, and we shouldn't. We've got a good freshman class, and we expect them all to play. But it was an eye-opener to us. I think a lot of our young guys, it was kind of a welcome to the NSIC. Southwest and Northern played very well. And obviously the St. Cloud game, we battled them for a little bit. They just had a little more pitching than we did. I think at the time our guys were running low. I remember Jesse Katz pitched the day before, and he came out and mopped it up at the end for us, which was a pretty big step for us. And hat off to him. But obviously the NSIC, I believe, is the best baseball conference in the nation, depth wise. We played St. Cloud tough, but then all of a sudden I think we thought we were going to run over Southwest and Northern. Well, Northern beat St. Cloud, Southwest beat Northern. So it was kind of one of those things, and then all of a sudden CSP came in and we faced their ace, and we didn't probably have the depth at pitching, but I mean our bats have to wake up a little bit. We were rock solid right away. We busted out the first game, scored 17, and they just kind of trailed off from there. But it's early in the season. We're one of those teams that's just going to gear up for conference. Everything's going to be a learning experience. A lot of guys, we had 20-some guys have played their first college game last week. So, I mean, a lot of eye-opener for them, but a lot of our freshmen stepped up. One that comes to mind, or two that come to mind for me, is Terry Hayden and Seth Douglas. Both stepped on the mound and did very well. They came in, and Terry was not scared of any situation he was put in. He was upset. One of the games against Mount Marty, I wouldn't say he blew lead, but they scored a couple runs, but we came back and got him. And, he's one of those guys that's give me the ball, and that's what you want. And as a freshman, that's pretty impressive.
Hate to bring this up, but I think I know you well enough I can ask you this. You struck out 9 times all of last year, which is a phenomenal number for a senior, much less a freshman. You've already struck out 3 times this year. Is it trying to do too much? Is it you're down when you're up at the plate and you're trying to get the big hit instead of just getting on base? Or what's been the story this year?
Last year, hitting in the 7-hole, it's a lot different than now where I'm hitting in the 3-hole. It's definitely different. Obviously, still learning. I'm only a sophomore, so I'm still learning. And last year, you're seeing, a lot of guys just challenge up to a 7-hitter, and you're seeing a lot of fastballs, but now you're in a different situation where you're a guy that they're giving their everything to. And, obviously I don't look at that. I'm not worried about it. But, it was it's definitely a learning experience. hitting 3 at this level. So it's, hopefully I get more. I feel comfortable, to be honest. Most of my hits probably down there were 2 strikes. I felt the last part of the once our bats went cold, the last part of the trip, I was very off balance. So it's kind of nice to get back for a week and kind of get readjusted. So it's just sit back and stay soft on the front foot and quick diving out. I'm sure if my dad was down there, he'd be yelling at me. But, it's a learning experience. Overall, I thought the trip for myself went okay. Obviously, I wish we would have done better, but it's a learning experience with such a young team.
How can you stay balanced when you've been in the rec center and in the John Glass in a net for 2.5 months?
Obviously, it's discipline. You've got to just the fundamental stuff, T-work, soft toss.
Doesn't that get old?
It gets old, and obviously I probably didn't do the best I could at it, but 7 weeks, and then when you get out there, you're so excited and you want to do so well right away, and obviously you settle in, and the surprising thing, the whole tournament we were down there, I saw the ball very well. It's just the balance part of it and waiting back, and to be honest, the worst pitch at the college level is the changeup. I absolutely hate the changeup, and
don't give away that secret.
No, I hope people throw it to me now because I've been getting better at it. But I remember even last year, I was just like, I hate the changeup. Curveballs I can see, but sometimes those changeups take forever to get there. But obviously, it's a learning experience, and we're going to be a team kind of like UMD last year, where I think we're going to take our lumps right away and get ready for conference and hopefully make a run because we have I like our schedule right away to get some wins.
We got 3 non-conference games yet down in Kansas next week before we open up league play the following week. Obviously, there's still lots to be worked on, but as a collective group, you're in the mindset you guys need to be in?
We're going to get there, and obviously Skip will put us in that mindset. Attention to detail, little things. Pick the ball, throw it up. A lot of our your young guys are playing on their heels. They were recruited here to play, and obviously it's going to take them a while to get comfortable, but once I think knowing what we saw in fall ball with some of these young guys, once they get into their rhythm, it's going to be a very good team. We're going to compete with a lot of teams. And, like Skip says, we're Beavers. We don't do anything easy. So we're going to scratch and claw for runs. And like I said, with our young guys, it's all about the mindset. And, some of our guys, taking a walk's okay at this level. Getting on base, we're not going to be a team like last year where we lead the conference. Hey, we got to scratch runners across, get guys on, move them over, do the little things right. So I don't think we're at the right mindset, but we will be once conference is ready. I think I'm excited for Kansas to get going again and get back in the groove, and hopefully we get some momentum coming in for Upper Iowa.
Best of luck, Joey.
Thank you.